All right. Welcome back to another episode of Beyond Coaching. Dustin is with me again today.
Hello.
Hi, Dustin.
Hello.
Um, so I've been thinking about something for a few years, wrote a Substack post about it a while back, which I think we titled Holding Two Truths. So here's my struggle, and I want you to respond to it with your coaching hat on. Okay. So even now, after being in it for so long, I've been out of coaching for 10 years, but I coach for 10 years. But as an AD, I go home frustrated when we lose or ticked off. Like it stirs emotion in me. And we do all we can to win, right? And put a lot of time and effort into that. However, the most growth I see for people in their experience of athletics is through the failure. So through a bad season or not getting the role you want or whatever, or a bunch of people getting hurt and having to navigate that. That's where the most growth and like transferable skill development happens. And even to the point of like a lot of times the people I want to hire are the ones that were really good high school athletes, come here and get beat out and are great teammates through it all. I don't know how to reconcile the effort, time, and care I have for winning while knowing that truth as well, that the most important growth happens through the hard seasons or whatever.
Yeah.
So go.
Yeah. Let's decipher or break down a couple things. I think hard seasons when leadership is good. I think hard seasons when, hey, we have players that got hurt or maybe we're outmanned or outnumbered. I think that's different than when we say hard seasons where we've got a leadership issue. We've got some underlying things that
self-imposed hard seasons almost.
Yes. Yeah. So let's put that caveat there. Okay. Fair. Because in that, I think you're right. I think it can be some of the most rewarding work to say we didn't quit on each other, right? We navigated those things. But you're right, it's hard. I think of applicable for you on this. You know, the year before we made school history and went to the national tournament and won the region we were in as a basketball coach. People are not very quick to forget, or at least I'm not. The year before was a train wreck.
Yeah.
Sent a lot of guys home. It was my worst retention year. We had the most talented collection of guys that I had ever had. And it did not go well, right? The year before. The year after, we go to the national tournament. And I think there's something about that following season where you just got back to basics, right? Where you were a better leader and saying, hey, we're going to be accountable to these things. We're going to be detailed in these things because we don't want what happened, last year. So it's pretty fresh. Would we not say that in life? Think about the hardest things that you've gone through, right? And if you have perspective on the other side of those, you're probably like, man, I learned a lot there.
Yeah.
I think the same holds true. My mind goes to my faith in that too. I mean, I would like to say that on the mountaintop, I'm learning and growing at the highest rate. I don't know if that's true. If I'm honest, it's usually when there's struggle that I'm most locked in, right? Most discerning, most open. I think the question I would ask is, how do you do that in the moment?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it's easy a couple years back to say, well, that was in the next year we did this, and the year after that we were 10th in the country, and man, look at that growth. But in the moment, you're just trying to like hold on to sanity.
And I would bet, let's just take you as a coach. You grew more during that hard year than you did the next 2 years when you had success.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Well, and there were things that you had to do in that hard year that you hadn't planned on, you hadn't expected, right? And again, you talk about leadership and growth. I mean, we had to say goodbye to some guys.
Yeah.
We had to say at the end of the year, hey, I love you, I'm for you, but I think we both know this isn't a fit. And not seeing it in the moment, but I think for some of those other guys who came back and around, like, yeah, that's what I want to be a part of. And I think that happens for players too, right? They see that, they know that's tough, and then they're grateful for what is moving forward. So let me return the question to you. So how do you do it when you, without just all the moral victories, right?
Yeah.
Because
without the loser talk. Yeah.
Thanks. Oh, that's so, I mean, how do you do it? I mean, what do you tell coaches when they're in that? How do you encourage them in that?
I think it's real easy to say here. I mean, it's a lot of affirming the process and the effort. And I can think of one coach we have where first year was brutal wins and losses. He was struggling. I was like, this is good. Like, we're going to be all right. And I was really encouraged. So I tried to verbalize that to him a lot.
Yeah.
I hope it gave him some reassurance, but I think part of it was like, shut up already. We suck, leave me alone. I think from my position, it's that and not getting caught up in the emotion. Because I'm no different than anybody else. You say I'm calm, but stand on the football or basketball sideline, I can get as pissed as anybody. and I enjoy being down there in the heat of it. But part of me is like, gosh, I think I need to step away from it a little bit just to keep my perspective. Because I think that's what it comes down to, is managing emotion and perspective, so I can lead through it. A coach and players can't avoid that emotion piece, but and reminding them of any Yahoo can lead through a good season. For the most part, but not the case through a hard one.
Yeah, I think when we go back to that sea of constancy and being constant, I think it's the only way you survive it.
Yep.
I think it's and again, you talk about leadership and modeling that, and I'll go back to it, but what a poor job I did my first 3 years, just a roller coaster. When we won, man, I probably didn't win right. And when we lost, just a bear to be around. And so, and what happens is, and you know this, if you're a collegiate athlete, especially an impact player, then that means you're probably pretty good, or at least decent at your place. And you probably won at some level at your place. And so for some of your students, they've never experienced this before. They've never, maybe not to that level. And so how you lead and lead well is, it's really important. Go to this for me, because I hear this sometimes. How do you go through that? You said loser talk. How do you go through that and still name the things that you did well, name the things that you didn't do well? And again, we talk about Joel Kaufman all the time, so I'll just say it. My first year as a coach, I just kept, man, if we just play harder, man, if we just whatever. And I remember Joel one time said to me, no, your guys are playing as hard as you can. You're just not very good. You're just not as good as them. And so I think that's the other thing that happens in those tough seasons. You do see some of the blind spots.
Yeah.
Have you felt like you've been able to help coaches identify that, see that more clearly during those times?
I don't know.
Because when you're losing, those things appear. When you're winning, at times you can almost get a false sense of, hey, we're not very good at that, but we kept winning, so we didn't examine it.
Yeah. I think there's time and place for it, but yeah, absolutely. I think you want to speak truth, and I feel like I've done what Joel's done a lot of, like, no, you're losing because you're not very talented. You got great kids, they work hard, but you're just not talented enough. And I think something you said made me kind of click with this of when we talk about holding it in tension, there's opportunities on both ends of winning and doing that well, process oriented. But when you lose, there is or the season goes bad, there's so much opportunity there where if you're in it for more than just wins and losses, that it's a powerful moment to lead and can be a powerful testimony.
Yeah. Answer this. How many coaches go through that really tough season and you think don't bounce back?
That's interesting. I've never thought about it. My gut reaction to that question was quite a few when they're younger. Seasoned coaches figure that out.
Yeah.
I know it's not the end of the world.
Yeah. You've said to me often when I was coaching basketball, hey, you're never as good or as bad as you think you are.
It's a Bill Messmore line.
Yeah. And I think coaches got to hold on to that a little bit more throughout.
And recognizing when it's gone stale and how and if you can adjust.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. Let's probably more questions than answers in that one.
Yes, there is. So feel free, anybody listening, we'd love to hear from you. Reach out, call us. I don't think we have any answers on this one, but questions. We'd love to hear other thoughts.
Yep. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
If this podcast is helpful to you, we go deeper in our weekly Substack newsletter. Subscribe at impactfulcoachingproject.substack.com. Every Monday, we share practical leadership frameworks, insights, and research for coaches, athletic directors, and leaders who want to build sustainable excellence. Link is in the episode description. It's free.